Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I am Caleb and I would like to welcome you to a very special perfume review, presentation, celebration of the all-time great Shalimar by Guerlain. Once upon a time, 100 years ago, Jacques Guerlain made an amber perfume, often cited as the first amber perfume in the history of the world for the house of course, Guerlain. The fragrance was really composed around 6 notes, referred to today as the Guerlainade. Bergamot at the top, a triple floral heart of rose, jasmine, and iris, and a warm base of tonka and vanilla. This perfume was called Shalimar. Now here is the EDP, modern day EDP. Purchased this last year, 90 ml. Beautiful, gorgeous presentation. Still today in 2025. You love to see it. A lot of designer perfumes have unique bottle shapes and stuff like that. And it's funny, as you climb up the price tier, you start to lose that. But this, for all intents and purposes, is, again, obviously one of the all-time legendary perfumes. If you've spent any time in the fragrance community, particularly the side that cares about the heritage and the history of perfumes, and if you ever looked into the house of Guerlain, the greatest house in perfume history, Guerlain, the French house, you know about this perfume. You've heard of Shalimar. Maybe you haven't smelled it, maybe you have. But today, we are here to talk about a flanker that was just released this month earlier. This is August of 2025. So I presume that the original Shalimar came out in August, maybe the fall, winter. It would make sense for that to be the case, seeing as it's an amber, it's a warm fragrance. And before, things were classified and as structured as we see them today, you can put your nose on this and know that this is warm, it's inviting, it's carnal. In fact, to quote Jacques Guerlain himself, to wear Shalimar is to let your senses take over. Now, I think that's interesting. Again, this started off and really still is classified as a women's perfume. But back in the day, this was a daring, bold women's perfume. It really was not something that was like, it wasn't like Chanel No. 5, which came out around the same time. The 20s were something else for perfume. But, it really was, it's the complete opposite of Chanel No. 5. It's where that's airy and all the hitting. This is heavy. It's got a leathery, kind of carnal elixir to it. Again, it's defined by those 6 notes: the bergamot, the rose, the iris, the jasmine, the tonka, and finally the vanilla. So again, fast forward to this month, a couple weeks ago, I believe, maybe a week ago, I don't know. As soon as I found out about this, I had to purchase it blind, because I love what Guerlain's doing. I love what Delphine Jelk has been doing. She composed a special perfume, a special iteration of Shalimar for the 100-year anniversary. And I knew that she was going to, or I knew that Guerlain in general was going to do something special for the 100th year. For the past 4 years, they released these Millésime series, and we'll talk about those in a minute. So all that aside, we ended up getting Shalimar L'Essence. Shalimar L'Essence, beautiful iteration, but described as an ode to vanilla, for, again, to commemorate the 100-year Shalimar living legend. One of the oldest perfumes, again, that's still available for sale. The EDP, the EDT as well. There's the Extrait that you can get, the Dab perfume. And so there's so many iterations of Shalimar. There are other flankers out there. I have a good amount of flankers here. The Mathilde Laurent, Eau Laguerre. I have all 4 Millésimes that have been released since 2021, each subsequent year. I have, again, the EDT as well, and now I have, the EDP, and I have this. Again, this is the L'Essence. I love the nice decal that's printed on here. It's a sticker. And then typical Shalimar bottle, same cap, everything else. Really nice. The juice right off the bat is darker than this EDP, as you can see. And over time, I believe it will get as dark as, you know, a SDV or this, the Vanilla Planifolia Millésime. When this was originally released, I got this last year off of eBay. It was sealed, brand new, and so no oxygen got to the formulation. But as soon as I opened it, it turned out like this. Every single bottle I've seen of Vanilla Planifolia is this color now. It's really dark. And I think that this will eventually turn to this, maybe a year from now. We'll check in because you can tell like, it has a darker hue. You can just tell it's gonna permeate and just really deepen over time as opposed to the EDP or EDT. Now, what does this smell like? What was the goal with making another flanker of Shalimar? This isn't just Shalimar with a special decal on it. And I'm glad that it's not. It's another iteration that I think we can appreciate, and I'm glad that we have it. I think that we needed it. Let's let Guerlain tell the story of what the goal here was. Okay, so this intense eau de parfum celebrates vanilla in every form. The Delphine Jelk has added the precious Madagascan vanilla tincture stemming from Guerlain's ancestral know-how to the ethyl vanillin found in Jacques Guerlain's original formulation, giving Shalimar a new intensity. Okay, discreet and subtle. Bergamot illuminates the floral heart, which blends rose absolute with the powdery elegance of iris. Little by little, Shalimar's amber note unfolds. Used in abundance, vanilla infuses it with new facets, smooth and woody with a hint of leather. And that is pretty much what you're getting. It really is the Shalimar EDP formula washed over with the Madagascan vanilla. The same vanilla that you get in Spiritus Double Vanille, the La Alimentier hallmark fragrance. The same vanilla that you get in the Shalimar Millésime Vanilla Planifolia flanker. The same vanilla that you get in the Angelique Noir, which I have my bottle over there. The same vanilla that you get the picture, that you get in the Vanilla Planifolia Extrait. This Guerlain vanilla that they do, the tincture that the way they prep that Madagascan vanilla, you know it when you smell it. You know it. If you know it, you know it. And particularly whenever they make a perfume where they really lead with the vanilla, it smells like nothing else. It smells like nothing else.
I should have taken the time to describe what I deem as Guerlain's vanilla olfactory signature, so I'll take a few moments to do so now. It's exactly what you're seeing here on the screen. I get this yellowed, thick, vanilla, creme anglaise type of vanilla. It's not, you know, it's custardy, it's kind of thick, classic French vanilla. It's the thick, yellowed vanilla from the old school. That's really what you get here. And really, you know, as somebody who hunts down vanillas and gourmand perfumes in general, I really personally have never gotten that experience with any other brand except for Guerlain's. They just do vanilla in that way that alone makes their house stand out beyond their heritage, on top of their quality and expertise. Again, think yellowed vanilla, not even from an ice cream standpoint. You know, when you go to the aisles and you see the different types of vanilla ice cream you can get, so many different choices, especially in the States. Well, you have the white vanilla, I don't know, like modernized ice cream, vanilla ice cream, you know, like you'd get at Chick-fil-A or something. White vanilla, there really is no texture, and it doesn't have that old school taste and really richness. This vanilla, the Guerlain vanilla in particular, is really akin to that yellowed vanilla ice cream you'll see. the yellowed French vanilla, the eggy yolky vanilla. Where you can visually see that this ice cream is yellow. It's several shades darker.
I've already sprayed it here on a card. And the dry down of this is very, very, very similar to the Millésime Vanilla Planifolia. Again, it just tempers, it thinks Shalimar and tone down the bergamot. Just smush the bergamot down with the extra dose of vanilla on top, and that's pretty much what you have. And what that does is, it really kind of brings me in the mindset of this perfume, which I've been wearing a lot right now. This is low-key been my signature scent. Musc Ravageur by Frederic Malle, by way of Maurice Roussel. This perfume, which I've heard, has been semi-inspired. It was semi-inspired by Guerlain Shalimar, Frederic, and pretty much every perfumer he works with are really, really, really big fans of perfume heritage and history and the legendary formulations, like, of course, Shalimar. Shalimar is so legendary. I believe Karl Lagerfeld used to wear Shalimar while working at Chanel, shamelessly. And the Chanel is one of the greatest perfume houses with their own history. But I believe I heard that he had the big flacon, the 500 milliliter bottle as well. I believe that. Shalimar fits Karl. This perfume right here, I'm telling you, this iteration, L'Essence, if you're on the fence, I would say go for it. Because A, this is going to sell out eventually, and B, the resale is going to be high. As is the case with all these Millésimes. I have Millésime Tonka here, which probably goes for $3 something these days. Vanilla Planifolia, again, I was fortunate to pick this up, but it's pretty high. If you find it, it's rare. Pick it up, but it's pretty rare, pretty high. Is it worth getting? I think so if you're a collector of Guerlain like myself and just perfume in general. But if not, get this. Jump on this when you can. I think this is really good. Does it have as much vanilla as Vanilla Planifolia? No. It allows the bergamot to shine a little bit more than the Millésime Vanilla Planifolia does. Where the EDP has the bergamot light shining through, the L'Essence really kind of dims it. It's like the light really has been turned down. Like this light ring I have, if this is like Shalimar EDP, this is L'Essence. And this, yeah, that's pretty much Vanilla Planifolia. Like, it's pretty much off. One thing I'll also compare it to is the Millésime Tonka. And why do I compare it to Millésime Tonka? While the Tonka is drawn out from this, and of course this is more akin to like Tonka Imperial, which I have right here. It's not, this allows the bergamot to breathe more than the Vanilla Planifolia does. And in that sense, it's comparable. You're getting it's just, the Tonka is just replaced by the vanilla, but it's the same amount of balance that the enhanced lower notes, base notes of the formulation has. It's the same kind of blend that you're getting, the same dosage that you're getting, I would say, in Millésime Tonka. So, again, overall, I think this is an excellent addition to the Guerlain house. 30 ml goes for $110, 50 ml goes for $140, and the 90 ml goes for $175. It's good for this formulation. It's a good price. It's a good price, I think. Money well spent for a perfume that really gets you close to, again, perfumes that are more expensive than that, like Spiritueuse Double Vanille, again, which is pretty much full blast, straight up vanilla with some rum notes, and as well as, like I said, Musc Ravageur, Millésime Tonka, Millésime Vanilla Planifolia. And I believe Extrait Vanilla Planifolia, I can't remember. I smelled those when they first came out, all the Extrait line. I need to get my hands on them eventually, but they're so pricey, aren't they? I want to get my hands on them, and I'm gonna start with the vanilla and the tonka. You know, I personally enjoy the warmer notes in perfumery. If you've watched any of my reviews thus far, my lists, you've seen that I gravitate more towards the sweeter, warmer, leathery, and gourmand perfumes. So something like this, really, in my opinion, personally, I prefer this more than the original EDT Shalimars. Why? Because they tone down that citrus for people like me. So much has been talked about here. It says, to mark this exceptional event, the Maison is revealing Shalimar L'Essence, a new intense variation which concentrates Shalimar's distinctive codes, its quintessence, a homage to the timeless modernity, daring, and seduction of Guerlain's most famous scent for women. And again, so they talk about this is a modern take on Shalimar, and so many of these flankers, besides the Millésimes, they've been trying to modernize Shalimar, like Chanel No. 5, like Chanel has done with Chanel No. 5 with L'Eau and Eau Première. Now, this is yet another attempt, I think a successful rendition of modernizing Shalimar. And these days we like sweet perfumes, we like vanilla. Guerlain in today's day and age in the perfume community has really staked its claim with vanilla, without fragrances that were, again, we're talking about 21st century perfumes like Angelique Noir, without Spirituous de Vanille, without Queer Beluga, you know, without these perfumes, without Tonka Imperial, or, you know, rest in peace, is discontinued, without Bois d'Harmonie, rest in peace, is discontinued. But without, you see what I'm saying? That La Haute Métier literally is built off of vanilla, which is literally all stems from the great root of this perfume. Also Jiki, you know, and so Guerlain really has staked its claim in the modern age with vanilla. So it's only right that they come leading with vanilla, giving us a brand new iteration of vanilla. And like I said, I'll spray it again. As I spray this, you know, first off, the atomizer is really strong here. I think it's a little stronger than probably any other, definitely stronger than Millésime bottles. But I think it's probably stronger than the EDP as well. It's a good presentation. Yeah, it starts off and it reminds me of the Vanilla Planifolia. It reminds me of the Millésime Tonka. Like I said, in terms of dosage and in terms of the smell of Vanilla Planifolia. But Vanilla Planifolia completely just engulfs the formulation. This washes over it. This engulfs it. So it just depends. Is there such thing as too much vanilla? To me, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm obsessed with, again, this was really the first Guerlain fragrance I ever purchased. This was my introduction into the House of Guerlain, and it led me here to learning about the ambers, the orientals, my favorite class of fragrances, you know, eventually Mousse Gravageur by Frederic Malle, and just expanding outwards. It all started with Shalimar, the EDP, right here. The queen, the empress, the ultimate, the glorious Shalimar. Shalimar is a regal perfume, an elegant perfume, a golden perfume. It's just stellar. It's, you know, I imagine ladies that were wearing the first formulations of this, you know, really were on their A game, were really on point, were really just dressed to the nine. I imagine, like, I can only imagine how the original wearers of Shalimar, those that dared to don the striking at the time Shalimar, the seductive fragrance, that, again, it was at the time. I remember, I think Persolaise said something along the lines of Shalimar was like it was something that you didn't want your daughter to wear Shalimar, or something along those lines, like, which is so interesting. Like, it's so interesting how time can change the perception of things, because to me, this is as elegant and defined, as dignified as any perfume you could ever put on your skin. You really want to wear this, again, I think with some sort of browns, some sort of golds, you know, maybe black with gold accessories. It really deserves and commands that kind of attention and that kind of attire. It really commands that kind of attire. And I'm grateful that A, I'm around, B, I care, and C, I'm doing this channel when I'm doing it. And so you guys are watching my review on it. I think I might get a second bottle just because I know I'm actually gonna wear this probably more than the original. Like, again, like I said, personally, citrus is tough for me. I struggle with heavy citrus focused perfumes. Just the way my nose is set up, I like warm scents, be it leathers, ouds, woods, you know, sandalwood, cedar. You know, I like florals more. Pretty much anything. I like solar florals, anything but a heavy citrus perfume. Shalimar is only difficult to me because of the bergamot aspect, not the leathery aspect, not anything else like that, the floral, nothing. I think it's gorgeous, especially when it's drying down. But that first blast, the first, you know, start of it with the huge bergamot dose, that's the difficult, tough part for me. But again, it's glorious, glorious iteration. Still Shalimar, but it has a beautiful, gorgeous helping of vanilla. Nicely done, deft touch by Miss Delphine Jelk. Again, she's doing great work. Love, 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 love what Guerlain has done. And thank you very much for commemorating, reiterating, and remixing Shalimar. Glad to be alive, glad to be present in the moment of a release like this. A celebration, you know, of a perfume that has far outlived me and will probably outlive me and the rest of us, you know. So it probably will. 200 years from now, there might be people wearing Shalimar. Until next time, you have a great day. Go out and wear some Shalimar.